All right, all right, all right, all right. New video from Gatsu, Iran versus 13 countries. I said new video. I lied. This video is a month old. I never got around to it. Shit is popping the fuck off right now. So I'm actually kind of interested, since this video is old, to see how much of this held up, because a lot has happened in the past month, and how much of it was wrong. And today, according to dear leader, all of Iranian civilization might end tonight. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get into this video.
Mr. Ayatollah, the infidel Americans and the Zionist entity has launched the missiles against us. What do we do? Bomb Dubai. Recently, shit has gone down in my region, and I mean my region. And this,
I will say, yeah, this is the weird duality of being an American, because this shit is crazy as fuck. And I guess the only thing I'm thankful about is that this is so far away from me. Dude, I guarantee you, there's people I interact with on like a normal basis that don't even like barely understand or know what's going on. Like we're very lucky, man. We get to just kind of act like it's all schmoo. Stupid. I don't know why I do that.
situation is getting very, very big, and I don't like it. I'm way too fucking close to it. And I have viewers DMing me saying, yo, bro, Iran just bombed me. I'm like, huh? Why are you texting me, bro? Go right.
No. Yo, that's fucking crazy. That's insane.
Iran just bombed me. I'm like, huh? Why are you texting me, bro? Go run. I do think Trump is an idiot for starting this war, because I think Iran having nukes would be a disaster for the whole world, because the worst possible countries already have nukes. We don't need another authoritarian regime having the power of the sun in their hands. What a lot of people don't understand about Iran and the Ayatollah is that the Ayatollah is not only a politician, but a religious head. He's literally a cleric of the Shia Muslim religion. It's low-key like if the Pope was also a politician. And imagine if a foreign country assassinated your religious leader, the Pope.
Yeah,
so
this
now
is the
everything's
stupidest video of all fucking time. Yeah, Gatsu always finds the fucking stupidest AI videos to splice in.
bombed. Because all the flights got cancelled as well, because Iran is bombing every single country in the region except the Caucasus. I wrote that before they bombed Azerbaijan, so we'll get to that as well. But also they're attacking civilian targets. But at least I'm glad that they know what their Shahed drones are supposed to be used for, attacking civilian targets just like they do in Ukraine. The alternative for the current Iranian regime that the US wants to install is basically Reza Pahlavi, who's the son of the previous Shah. Reza Pahlavi is such an industry plant in music terms, translated to Iran terms. People don't understand how bad the current leadership of Iran is, because the current death toll throughout this war said by Iran is around 1,000 people. This is when they're being bombed by 2 different countries, and just for around 3 weeks of protesting alone, the big protests that were going on, the death toll from Iran killing its own people was over 36,500 people. So the people are obviously not happy with Iran's current leadership, because if they were, there would...
I've heard some, I'll say this, to say the least, there's been some dispute about that number. But like, I'm not there, I'm not going to pretend to know, but you know, some people say some things and some people say some other things. That's all I'm going to say.
These massive protests, and I don't think anyone would be happy if suddenly their currency was worth like 15 times less than before, and also killed innocent protesters. They don't run the country well, this is extremely clear. And also I'm pretty sure the negotiations between America and Iran were pretty fake. There is no fucking way they would have moved like half the American military right near Iran if the decision to attack was not made already. Just the logistics and the fuel required to move that much equipment is way too expensive for a maybe. It was 1,000% they were going to attack. It was only a matter of time when. Matter of fact, Fuck everybody involved in this situation. I think it's ridiculous to side with any side here because this is just stupid bloodshed, in my opinion. Correct opinion, by the way. America even said that this is not a regime change war. They just want to neutralize Iran by blowing up their missiles and everything. But if you don't change the regime, you're just gonna make new missiles and weapons. It's ridiculous. Plus, they're hiding missiles in these mountains and shit. How are you gonna target every single one of those? And as for
there's one way, and that is ground troops. I think that that's the only feasible, realistic way that makes any sense whatsoever. And by the end of the week, I'm pretty confident that's probably going to happen.
Regime change, I'm gonna let my favorite blonde, beautiful British boy, Geopold, speak about it.
First of all, whether the opposition would even make it close to being in power in Iran, even with the entire Israeli and entire American army behind them, I'm very skeptical. I'm really skeptical. I don't think that will happen. Mainly because
no, it's not going to happen at all whatsoever. I mean, that's kind of the backdrop of this whole thing is, you know, it's Iran's kind of pushback against Western influence, especially over their leadership, and America, and I would say the West, but right now, really just America and that other country, the one blue and white one with the star on the flag. So yeah. Fuck no, I don't think that happens at all. I think that if they were to install someone, that motherfucker gets thrown out of office, if not beheaded, in record time. I don't think that they would go for that whatsoever.
Ayatollah has done a very, very good job of arming his supporters. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the Basij militia, the entire police force. This is hundreds of thousands of Ayatollah loyalists who are armed to the teeth, ready to die for the regime. They can't just do a Maduro here. It doesn't really matter if the Ayatollah dies. Even if he does, there's so many people that could just replace him. Meaning,
which is exactly, I don't know. I think this video might have come out before it was confirmed that he was dead, which is exactly what happened. It's like the famous, we spent all this money fighting the Taliban to replace them with the Taliban. Here we are, dropping all these bombs to replace the Ayatollah Khomeini with the Ayatollah Khomeini. It's just, and even if now they're saying he might be dead, bro, they're gonna find someone else. Like, it's just, you can't just bomb your way into just complete and total like cultural change. It's just not. It ain't gonna happen, twin.
Regime change, like for example, installing the king or a random made-up political party or anything, just putting anything else in apart from a radical Shia Islamic leader. Millions of people would die in that process. Millions. You think the protests were bad? You think this would be insane. And if you also consider the geography of Iran, it makes overthrowing the current regime or style of regime impossible. A bit like with the Taliban, it just won't work. Look at the crowds in Yemen. This is not even in Iran, this is Yemen, bro. This is exactly how the Ayatollah has now become a martyr to his millions of supporters. And remember, if only 20% of Iran support him and his regime, that is still 20 million people. Add on the foreign support for Iran, like from Yemen, for example. And low-key, my main thought here is, bro, the guy was almost 90. He was
gonna die anyway.
Bucket
Allegedly, he had was it prostate cancer as well. So, buddy was about to die anyway. We just kind of sped up the process.
You could have just waited. Instead, now he's a martyr to his supporters. He's a representation of the world.
Whereas if he would have just died of old age, for all we fucking know, people would remember the fact that they didn't like certain aspects of how we governed, right? They'd be looking for change. And now he's a full-blown martyr. It's just, this is crazy.
Being against them, which obviously will just breed further and further and further extremism, which can be even more accelerated if you carpet the capital. Civilian areas and like the city center in Tehran are being bombed right now indiscriminately.
Yo man, how come like fucking YouTubers in their early 20s are making more sense than our elected officials? What the fuck is going on right now? Ah, dude.
And with them having no plans or goals for regime change, what the fuck is the point of this war? Okay, you destroy their entire military, but the people that want to kill these protesters and the innocent people of Iran still rule the country. They can get more weapons and missiles from Russia, for example, or just build it all again themselves. So what's the plan? Just bomb Iran every 10 years when they rebuild their military? After the strikes began, Trump released an 8-minute video statement where he urged IRGC members, which is the Iranian leadership, to lay down their weapons or face certain death, and told the Iranian public, when we are finished, take over your government. March 2nd, Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon said,
"This is not a so-called regime change war."
Like, what? You know what the most insane thing is? Something like over 60% of the missiles Iran shot were aimed at Dubai, the UAE generally, so Abu Dhabi too. They've been going fucking insane on the UAE, and people think it's because the UAE has American bases there. But Qatar has the biggest American base in the Middle East with like 10,000 troops, and they didn't bomb them nearly as much. The reason why they went so hard on the UAE, firing basically the same amount of missiles as them as they fired on fucking Israel, is because Dubai is a brand. It's a luxurious resort where people live and they pay no tax. They live in extreme luxury if they have the money for it. Russian hookers everywhere. This was all a plot by the UAE, basically to get all of the world's richest people living, or at minimum, investing in the United Arab Emirates. Because of the extremely harsh Dubai police, it's also an extremely safe city. Nothing like robberies or drugs happen there, and they have that luxurious Arab money, safety, chilling, sunny look, and a reputation to keep. They're also a big American ally. So it's like these guys are the cool Arabs, you know? It's not like when you go over here and here the bad terrorist Arabs. Here are the cool guys. I swear. Ignore what they're doing in Sudan, bro. Just ignore it. And all this was shattered with Iran bombing the UAE, and they weren't able to do anything about it. You know what's crazy? My city's mayor was trapped in the UAE because he was there for his birthday. And when you have an unsafe experience like that, you sort of don't want to invest in that country anymore, and definitely not live there. For example, most of the other world is not getting bombed right now. So it basically destroyed the UAE's reputation because they were not able to defend themselves. And Iran is basically hoping that destroying these rich, you know, modern, cool Arab oil state countries such as Qatar, UAE, Bahrain, which are all American allies, will lead those countries to ask America to stop attacking Iran. Because look, man, Mr. Trump, you attacked Iran. Now they're bombing our countries, bro. Stop this shit. These small nations aren't even attacking back because 1, they don't have that many weapons to attack back with, and 2, if they attack back, Iran will 10x their fucking missiles and flatten their entire countries if they wanted to, because these countries are tiny. So the UAE's only option now is to ask America to stop attacking Iran, because Iran is just retaliating on these small countries because there's not much it can do against Israel and the American Air Force and Navy. And also to protect their own reputation, they started deploying their super weapon, Instagram influencers. The same day UAE started getting bombed, I started seeing the exact same reel, word for word, everybody posting this. You live in Dubai, aren't you scared? And it's followed with, how could I be scared when these people are leading us? And then that video of the sheikh flipping his phone in his hand. I genuinely saw like 20 of these exact same videos, just with different white women in the beginning. Like, it's very clearly propaganda. At least use different videos, bro. Like, come on, man, just lock in. You guys have that many Russian prostitutes there. You know how well Russia does propaganda? Maybe you listen to these Russian prostitutes you're with, and they can tell you something you can learn from. Also, somebody needs to tell Israel that the last time a leader tried doing a...
Do those go hard? If you pop out in Tel Aviv with those on, do those go hard?
Front war, it did not go very well for him. He put a gun in his mouth and fired up, because while they are at war with Iran and still bombing Palestine, they decided to do a ground invasion of Lebanon. Why, bro? Who is forcing them to do all this?
I know.
Every day, more and more people and more countries are getting involved, such as Hezbollah.
It almost, look, maybe there's something I don't know that I'm missing, but it seemed like they just kind of like snuck that in there. I don't see at all. I guess it's like the idea that Hezbollah is funded by Iran, but I don't know, man. It seems pretty random for them to just like, I don't know, for them to just pop out and take over, you know, a 12-mile stretch of Lebanon. But what do I know?
in, the US embassy in Saudi Arabia being bombed, with Saudi Arabia saying they might join. They fucking bombed Cyprus, and then Fidias came out, oh, they bombed my country. But when they bomb Ukraine, it's suddenly all, oh, you know, we need to negotiate. Maybe Ukraine needs to give up territory for peace. Why doesn't he want Cyprus to give up territory for peace now, huh? Just as I was finishing this script up, they sent a missile to Turkey, which was shot down. Now, seeing as Iran literally lost their president's dead body in the mountains in 2024, and the only way they could find the body was after a day is by Turks flying their drones over to look for and find their president's dead body. I would not recommend Iran start anything with Turkey, because I think one-on-one, Turkey is stronger than Iran alone. So at this point, they should just be thankful that Turkey is not getting involved, because once them Bayraktar drones start coming, it's not gonna be good. It's another country of 90 million people. Think, bro, think. And just as I was about to record this video, they bombed Azerbaijan, bro.
Yeah.
At this point, they have bombed 2 of my neighbors. They bombed the Nakhchivan airport in the Azerbaijani exclave, and another drone struck near a school. This is because Azerbaijan provides around 40% of Israel's oil and is a very big Israeli ally, seeing as half their military is made up of Israeli weapons and the other half of Turkish weapons. So at this point, all of my neighbors have been bombed. Only not me, so Georgia, and not Armenia. And to be fair, I don't think either of these countries are gonna get bombed. We aren't affiliated with Israel at all, and have pretty good relations with Iran, so you can expect more videos from me in the future from my room instead of the front. Also, bro, if I'm going to the front, I'm writing all my homies' names in as well. I'm not queuing up with randoms in a war. I don't want to do squad fill. I'm taking them with me, bro.
Yeah.
We are all going to war together. If I die, Geopold is dying with me. Iran also closed the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of the world's oil
This
goes
is the big
from.
one. He probably finished this video like right around the time this was first happening, and now the entire situation is hinging on this. Like I said, there's gonna be some crazy ass shit going on by tonight, if and probably when the Strait of Hormuz is still closed. But we'll see, man.
A lot of gas. Around 90% of the oil that goes from this place goes to Asia, like China, India, and 90% of Japan's oil comes from the Middle East. All of Asia is basically fucked now because of this, unless they can get more oil from somewhere else. Of course, all of them have reserves, but also you don't want to necessarily tap into your savings account, do you? And because of this, obviously markets crashed, right? But they didn't crash that hard because the war has just begun and people are hoping that it ends soon. I'm hoping that it ends soon, so everything can go back to normal instead of more and more people being fucking dragged in. I'm right there, man. I'm not trying to get hit with no fucking Shahed drones or missiles. So my main point is, literally what the fuck is the point of this entire war? You killed the Ayatollah, okay, he got replaced and he will keep getting replaced. He was 86 years old. The government was already preparing for this. They can just keep replacing people. They're also all armed to the teeth, and they also have a massive supporter base. Oh, and also, there is no good opposition to replace it. A lot of people think about Reza Pahlavi, the Shah's son. He left Iran when he was 17 years old to train at an American Air Force base, and he never came back. He hasn't been in Iran for 48 years. And then next year, his father was overthrown. So now this dude is just gonna come back to a completely different country and is expected to just rule it and have legitimacy as well. The median age in Iran is about 32. The guy is trying to lead a country where the majority of the population has literally never lived under anything other than the Islamic Republic. And on top of this, they're calling it a special combat operation. I wonder where I've heard that one before, man. And they're talking about Iran may strike the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan pipeline. Don't bomb that shit, man. I'm right here, man. Come on, bro. Fuck. The US is talking about putting boots on the ground in Iran. And looking at their geography, it is literally the worst choice they can possibly make. I think if they do that, they might genuinely lose this war. And Reza is like the only major candidate now. But you know what fucking Trump said?
It all in your mind? I guess he has some people like him, and we haven't been thinking about too much about that. It would seem to me that somebody from within maybe would be more appropriate. I've said that. He looks like a very nice person, but it would seem to me that somebody that's there, that's currently popular, if there's such a person. But we have people like that. We have people that were more moderate. You know, these were radical lunatics, and you know what they get? They get nothing. All they do is kill people.
He said Reza does not have clout, man.
Yeah, he's got no emotion.
Literally, what is this war even for? Also, Walmart made a great video about this, you know? Like, Western leftists think, yeah, these Arabs are fighting for freedom and it's cool and whatever. But no matter if you're Arab, black, or milk-colored, nobody wants to get hit with a fucking bomb. Arabs are not this force which will just take anything, be like, yeah, I'm ready for more missiles to fight. They want to live normal lives, and these fucking old-ass idiots are terrorizing their lives. They want to have kids, they want their kids to have great lives, and these constant wars in the Middle East, mostly started by the United States, is ruining basically an entire race's lives. When you kill their dads like the US and Israel does, or even Iran does, because they killed so many innocent young protesters, of course they're gonna turn to extremism. It's ridiculous, and it's a horrible feedback loop. Nobody's going to suddenly be chill with the people that kill their children. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. A longer video is coming soon about a different topic. It's gonna be the longest video since the Europe one, so it's gonna be peak. Stay tuned, like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and goodbye. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get the special discount.
No free promo. Great video, Gattsu. Great video. And yeah, unfortunately, I do not think this is going to be the last time I watch and react to a video about this topic, because I got a bad feeling this is going to last a very, very long time.